Lesson 11.4, graphing ellipses. And we're going to throw a little twist in here. We're going to graph them with and without transformations. What we mean by that is that sometimes the center is at the origin, and sometimes it's not. If it's transformed, as in if it's moved left or right or up or down, we're going to look at just translations, I guess. We're going to change the center. So the center is going to change. And now this is similar language to circles. H and K was how we denoted the center of a circle. The same thing here. Notice in your equation, you got an x minus h, y minus k. All right. The same idea here is that the center can be written in there. So instead of centering at 0, 0, which is what we started looking at for ellipses, we're going to maybe change the center a little bit. The biggest thing that I can suggest that you look for is just look for the larger number. If it's underneath the y square, it's a horizontal ellipse. Think about stretched out in the x-axis, it's stretched out that way. The circle's stretched that way. If the bigger number's under the y squared, it's a vertical ellipse. And that's going to help us when we're graphing these things. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 examples. Fifth example is slightly different. Each one is similar. To graph these things, what we're going to do is we're going to find a few things. We're going to find the center, right? And then we're going to find A, and we're going to find B. When we find A and B, those are important pieces because A has to do with our vertice or our vertex, and B has to do with our co-vertex. And so we're able then to find these points. If it's moved, then I'll show you how we use a graph to kind of count and locate the new coordinates. All right. So in this example here, the center, because there's no minus or parentheses here, we know the center is at the origin, 0, 0. So when I'm sketching this, I'm going to sketch this right down the middle here. And I'm going to put my center right here. There's my center, 0, 0. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the larger number here. The larger number is 36. Okay, that has to do with my vertex, or that's how I locate my vertices, and that is A. A is the distance from the center to the vertex. So if I take the square root of 36, I get 6. So A is 6. That means it's 6 units in this direction. That's the y-axis right here. So from the center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to label that point right here, 0, 6. I have one of the vertices done. The other one is the opposite direction from the center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I should have to make sure there. And that is 0, -6. Okay? There we are. Done. Vertices done. They lie on the major axis. This axis is longer because it's the larger numbers are underneath y. The smaller number, square root of 16, is underneath x, which is 4. And that's the distance from the center, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to label those as I go. 4, 0, 1, 2, 4, -4, 0. Those are my co-vertices done. Now, if you were to sketch this graph, we could sketch it something like this. There you go. There's your ellipse. All right, let's try one where we translate it. We'll move the center. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the center. Center, remember it's H and K. So let's look. In the x direction, it is -3, x -3. So that makes the center. So this is H and this is K. So the center of this is going to be 3, comma, instead of +4, it's -4. The equation was x minus H, y minus K. So in order for that, this is a double negative. That's why you see a plus sign here. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch my center. My center is at 3, 4. So 3, -4. So 3, -4 is down here. I think what I'll do here is I will go like this. 3, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to, and we can adjust this if we need to. I'm going to make my origin right here, and then that adjusts it. So my center is 1, 2, 3, negative 1, 2, 3, and 4. So right here, that's my center. I'm going to put it down just like that. Okay, so now let's locate A and B. So now this is a little problem here where we switched X and the Y. So stay on your toes here. So to locate A is the distance from the center to the vertex. In this case, it's underneath Y, and it's the square root of 49. Square root of 49 is 7. So that means this. It's 7 units in this direction from the center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm going to write that number down right now. That's 7 units. It's got the same X value, but 7 units from here. So negative 4 plus 7 is positive 3. I can also just count on my grid. Now I'm going to move 7 units down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm kind of running out of real estate down here. And so this is 3, and then 7 away from negative 4. So negative 4 minus 7, negative 11. So there's my vertices. Now I'm going to use a different color here, and I'm going to sketch my co-vertices. My co-vertices is the square root of 16, which is 4 units in this direction from the center. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to take 4 away from X. That makes this minus 1, minus 4. And then the other vertice is 4 to the right of 3. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 plus 3 is 7, negative 4. You can sketch your graph. There you go. All right, 2 verticals in a row. You can either fast forward me or try these on your own. I'll continue to do them because it's on a video for those watching at home. So it's centered, our center is at 0, 0. And I know that because there's no parentheses here. So let's just make our center right here. Okay. And then let's find the larger number. It's underneath X. All right. So my vertex is square root of 64, which is 8. It's 8 units from the center in the X direction. All right. So let's make these each worth 2. 2, 4, 6, and 8. So that vertex is 8, 0. And then this is 2, 4, 6, 8. Negative 8, 0. All right. And then letter B stands the distance from the center to the co-vertice, and that's the square root of 25, which is 5. So it's 5 units in this direction. So 2. So now my co-vertices, letter B says 5 units from the center. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So this is 2, 4, 5 is right here. And then 2, 4, 5 is right here. Sketch it. There we go. Voila. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. There we go. Okay, so these are a little bit trickier once we change the center. So my center here is 2, 4. So 2, 4 would be, so let's go like this. Let's go to the left, let's go down, let's go here. I don't know. It's always a bit of a crapshoot here. We can always adjust it if we needed to. Okay, so 2, 4, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's my center. And then let's go find the larger number. The larger number is the distance from the center to the vertex. So A is square root of 25, which is 5, and it's in this direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, one more here. 5. So that's 5 units above this value. So it's 2, 9. And the other one is 5 units below. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's 2 comma 5 minus, or take away 4 is minus 1. Okay, let's find, those are our vertices. Let's find our covertices. Letter B is square root of 9, which is 3. So that's 3 units in this direction. 1, 2, 3. And so that would be 5 comma 4. And then 3 units in this direction. 1, 2, 3. Negative 1 comma 4. Voila, sketch it up. This is so exciting. There you go. There you go. You got your ellipse. Last but not least, what about if you're given a graph? How do you come up with an equation? Well, to me, I feel like that's an easier ask for us because I can see it visually and I can use the graph to count some things. So the first thing I'm going to do is find my major axis is in this direction. And so I'm going to locate, that's going to be A. So I'm going to write down what that number is. So it starts at 2 and ends at 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So A is 5. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to locate B. B is the distance from the center to the covertices. It's our minor axis, the smaller axis here. And so that distance is 2 units. So B is 2. So now I can start my equation here. So X. So first of all, I would like to just think about your center. Your center is at 2 comma 0. So that's going to affect this plus y squared, because it's y minus 0 squared, which simplifies to be y squared. And then this value here is 5 squared. And then this value, letter B, is 2 squared. If I simplify this, I probably could have just simplified it all in one step. Let's go and do that, actually. So here I'm going to have 25. And here I'm going to have 4. And voila, it's equal to 1. Final. That is going to be the equation for the ellipse. And now I'm going to give its domain and range. And again, I'll kind of show you a couple options for that. So domain, okay, it's this x value here all the way to this x value here. Of all these points here, those are those x values. So we got option 1. We can say, and use some brackets here, from negative 3 comma to positive 7. Another option, option 2, is negative 3 less than or equal to x, less than or equal to 7. And that's for domain. We'll do range now. Range is talking about the y values that make up these points, or the y coordinates of all these points. So again, 2 options that you can write this, and it goes from here all the way down to here. So I have negative 2 to positive 2. So I can write that using brackets, or I can write that using inequalities.